like the Insurance Lead Machine, but we will talk about that, of course. Welcome everyone to the next Facebook Live on our Tuesday editions. If you're surprised, we have lives on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. now too, in addition to our Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So without further ado, please say hi. Please say if you can see us and hear us. And as always, please ask questions throughout and we'll bring them up and we'll make sure to answer them. If you're catching the replay, thanks for joining us. Just comment replay in there, and then also any questions and we'll get to them. So a little bit of housekeeping as we get started. We have an exciting guest for today, and we're going to have a really awesome conversation that I think a lot of insurance agents and agencies really need to talk about because they're not taking advantage of it, and they could be saving so much time, so much energy, and really maximizing their ROI and their business and taking it to a whole nother level. So we're going to be talking about that today. And everything to do with automations. And, you know, does it replace a person? Does it replace you in your business? Or is it a tool to help further along, you know, and really take advantage and maximize your potential? So we'll talk about all of that. Hey, everybody, I see the comments start rolling in. So I see you guys are on here. So thanks for joining us. Please introduce yourself in the comments and any questions you have. And if you're using any automations in your business, and if you are, maybe what some of those automations are. We're going to be talking about that. So a little bit of housekeeping. I do want to announce, I don't think we've put anything out with it yet, but we officially got our YouTube channel going now. We dropped a video in there today, and it's actually related to the blog post that went out today as well. So, oh, by the way, we have a blog too. So be sure to check out that blog and the new blog post, as well as our YouTube channel. We'd love it if you could subscribe, drop some comments, likes, and we're really going to push to 100 or 1,000 subscriptions as quick as possible. We'll be dropping new videos on there once a week for right now, and as soon as February hits, we're going to look to do 2 or 3 videos because we got so much content. We're going to make it easier for people to find it there and get it embedded on the site as well. So definitely check out that stuff. Amy's dropping the comment or the links in the comments, so you guys can check that out. And I do want to mention also that we have a weekly highlight list, email list. So if you want to get on that to get all the top stuff from the group, like the new blog posts, new YouTube videos, any freebies we've created for you guys, any special deals or offers, top posts from the group each week, all that sort of stuff, and make sure you get on that list as well. And yeah, we got a whole bunch of cool stuff for you. I mean, here's the link for grabbing the YouTube channel and subscribing to that. Here's a link for getting a reminder in a Facebook chat when we're going live. I think Amy's working on sending one of those out right now for this. So yeah, we're really excited. Thanks for joining us, Mario. Glad to have you here, as well as Kevin. And if you can please, if you have not in the past, please click this link so we can see who you are and your profile image and your name and everything when you ask a question. Otherwise, it's like this, like Kevin, and it just says Facebook user. So we'd like to know who you are and see your picture. So please click that link. So without further ado, I want to talk about our amazing, exciting new guest. So we got Sandra joining us. Her and Cody run the Insurance Lead Machine, which if you guys haven't checked that out, we're going to definitely talk about that today. But yeah, so Sandra, marketing expert wizard, automations, really building businesses in the insurance industry, has quite a history herself, and I'll let her introduce herself as well. So let's go ahead and let's bring everybody on. Oh, and by the way, my partner Renee over here as well. So say hi, Renee.
Hey. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, right? Yeah. Hopefully you guys starting off 2020 and already killing it. But if not, hopefully this is a very helpful live in some way, shapes, or forms if you can take just one thing away. So, and then joining us, a special guest is Sandra over this way. I got to use the direction. So Sandra, for those that have not met you, don't really know much about you yet or anything, can you please, a little introduction about your history in the industry and everything from there would be great.
Yeah. So Sandra Gebhardt, I'm by myself on the screen now. Didn't see that coming.
Surprise!
Hello, welcome. So my name's Sandra Gebhardt. I'm a digital marketer. I actually owned an insurance industry a few years ago as well. So I started out as a licensed sales producer, decided to buy my own book. I did everything for myself in regards to lead generation. And my husband was diagnosed with a brain tumor about 6 months into us owning the business. So that took us away. We live in Montana, so we had to travel down to Phoenix to get all of that stuff handled. And in that process, we ended up shutting down the insurance agency, and I went over to digital marketing full time. So I've been doing that for a while now, and I love watching agents really get how they can simplify their office. With the technologies that we have now that wasn't even available like 2 years ago, I think I would still have my agency. I would have been able to work more remotely, but I did not have that capacity at the time. I think I would still have my agency. I would have been able to work more remotely. I can hear myself coming back.
Repeat. It's so good they need to hear it twice. So yeah. so
your life.
I keep doing better. Okay, we're all on the screen now. So, but still they changed up a lot of the back end of this, so I'm playing around with your stuff. But Sandra, can you tell us a little bit about through growing an agency and your business and your experience in the insurance business? Can you tell us about any transition from I don't know if you started off that way at the very beginning coming in, or if that was an eventual transition, but maybe going from everything's manual and repetitive tasks are all being done by you or someone on your team to really implementing automations in some way, shape, or form, and how that kind of had an impact.
So you know what, guys, I was just working on getting dinner ready for the family, and I was making mashed potatoes. So I couldn't find my potato peeler, so I was using my Pampered Chef. They actually call it a peeler knife, paring knife as well. And so I'm going through there, and I'm like cutting these potatoes and just getting madder and madder. And I was getting the job done, right? I had a whole bag of potatoes to peel, and I was going through with my knife. My wrist was hurting. I was getting pissed off. Sorry. And I finally got through them all, and I stopped for a second, and I thought, I got the same job done. All the potatoes are up boiling as we speak, but it took me like an hour to peel potatoes. And if I would have had my potato peeler, it would have taken me like 15 minutes. So when we're talking about things that we can automate, things that we can make easier, it's not so much that we're trying to replace everything. We're not trying to replace the way that business is done. There's only one way to get to the inside of a potato, right? You have to take
as far as I'm aware. I mean,
yeah.
I think maybe there's other ways.
I got to thinking, like, I could have used a potato. I could have used the grater to take the skin off, or my goal was to take the skin off. And there's multiple ways to do that for the exact same end, where I have a potato that doesn't have a skin on it. So that really got me to thinking about how important automation, or how important having the right tools are to get the job done that you're trying to do. And in that light bulb really went off in my head, because for the first time in my career, I'm actually offloading tasks to a team. And it's twofold. Not only am I offloading tasks to a team because we're scaling at a different pace than we thought we were going to scale, but I'm also using automation as a person in the business as well. And it's scary. It's so scary to give up that control. And I got to thinking, if our store is 3 minutes away, would it have been a better use of my time for me to just go buy a potato peeler? And it really just kind of, you kind of get what I'm saying? Like, it really comes back around to working smarter and finding the best tools that you can use, because we only have 1,440 minutes in a day. We all are given the exact same amount of time. So why are some agents crushing it? Or why are some agents writing 10 times the business we are? And it's a matter of they found tools that have worked for their office and systems that have worked for their office. So what can you put into place to take some of that daily $2 an hour job off your plate and focus solely on that money making things?
And I completely agree. I mean, it really comes down to focusing your time on the most mission critical tasks and maximizing ROI. I mean, really any agent, well, actually, I guess that's probably one of the first things to discuss, is I think so many agents, and especially newer agents as well, value their time at nothing. Yeah. They think their time is this magical thing, free, and has that there is no value to their time, essentially, no opportunity costs. Like they're like, oh, I would never buy leads, or I don't buy leads because I do networking and I get them through referrals and I go to all these events and I do all these things and I get all my leads for free. But then I turn around and say, that's not free. That's probably the most costly leads you could ever get in your life because you're spending that time there. Ultimately, when you ask agents, what's your time worth? They come up with, I don't know what it's worth, or, oh, it's worth, $20 an hour because that's what I got paid at my last job, or whatever. And it's like, no, that's not how you come up with what your time's worth. Your time's worth, if you were on the phone selling and that's all you were spending your time on was closing leads, how much could you make in an hour on average in AP? You make one sale an hour or one sale every 5 hours even. Let's say you make one sale every 5 hours of going through leads, which is not a great closing ratio. But I mean, that 5 hours, if you sold one final expense policy, 500 AP, we're at 100%, contract, or $500 in commission. Well, all of a sudden your time is now worth $100 an hour if you were just working those leads. You do more leads, or you sold $1,000 AP. Okay, now your time's gone up to 200 plus. So really, when agents look at that, they got to look at, okay, what's the alternative here? I can spend my time like dinking around, liking stuff on Facebook, or replying to every single email myself, or manually calling each lead and texting them and emailing them myself, or whatever the task is, or I could spend my time just selling and closing people. And so when you really look at how to value time, that's how you value time. So agents, I think, really need to get that through. Like, there's nothing wrong with network. You're spending time at events and getting leads that way. You just got to realize your cost is coming through your time. So yeah. And which newer agents that have more time than they have money, that makes perfect sense. But you got to take it to an account when you really look at it that way. And I think that's the most important way of looking at things when you go about making decisions in your business, is how much time is this thing going to take me? Do I have some money or some investment to put towards having someone else do it, or automating it in some way, shape, or form? Or is this something I need to really be doing myself? Sandra, I don't know what do you think about that?
Well, one thing, it's hard when you leave me. I'm like, whoa, super professional. So one of the things that I talk about with agents, whether I'm talking to them about their business or whatever's happening, there's an overall, and if you're listening right now, tell me what your captive or whoever's trained you has told you. The standard that I hear is you have to make 100 to 150 calls a day to get 5 quotes to sell one policy. That's kind of what I've heard. If you guys have other numbers that you're using, drop them in the comments. Let us know. But that seems to kind of be an industry standard across the nation. 150 calls, 5 quotes a day, 1 quote sold. And this
is that cold calls or internet leads or what?
Internet leads, cold calls. It really doesn't seem to matter. That number doesn't really vary much between.
I hope those aren't Facebook leads, because that's an expensive conversion.
Well, even on your Facebook leads, though, and I talked about this yesterday on a video. My girlfriend was trying to get a hold of me last week, and we missed each other for an entire week of phone calls. We don't like to text each other. It's kind of a rule we've put together. So we like to get each other physically on the phone. Well, for a week, I was trying to get her on the phone, right? And I want to talk to her. She's not an insurance agent or a dentist or somebody that wants something from me. She's somebody I want to pour my time into. And it took us a week to get a hold of each other. So when we're talking about that 150 calls, it could be from the hottest lead in the world. It could be from somebody that said, yeah, I want you to close me next week. Well, you still might have to call them, right, guys? You're pounding the phones. You're still calling them 3 or 4 times to get a hold of them. Or sending out 3 or 4 texts saying, hey, remember me, don't forget me. I just recently changed my insurance. John Biddle chased me down for a year. And he was like, Sandra, he would jump on my trainings. Like if I was doing a flash training or something, and he'd be like, just sitting there hanging out. And I'm like,
that's funny.
So then I was like, yep, you got me. Let's do this. And he's like, perfect. I said, I'll send you my bank account information. So another week went by where he's emailing me, texting me, messaging me on Facebook. And he's like, send me your bank account information. But that's how people are. So it doesn't matter what your lead source is. There is no magic lead source where it's a 1 call close, right? We all know that. So it's just figuring out.
There's no magic lead source. It's 1 call close. It seems like every agent's looking for that, and every lead vendor says that's them, but it doesn't exist.
Well, and think about this. I said, send me some quotes for my mom. I'll review them and I'll go through her stuff. right? That was 2 weeks ago. And he sent me a message yesterday and he's like, how we coming on your mom's stuff? I'm like, yeah, right? We're going to get there. So it's just, you've got to follow up with people, and you have to follow up with people more and more and more and more. And if they can't get a hold of their girlfriends who they want to talk to, how many more times are you going to have to call, right?
Absolutely. And really, I mean, we're talking about the value of time and opportunity costs and all that sort of stuff. But, one of the main things with automation, like you mentioned, is the fact that it can maximize your efficiency and productivity, and you can really get the most out of it. Whether it's lurking leads or anything. I mean, we use like Zapier for a million things in our business, and it's not directly just like lurking leads or anything like that. We use it in many different ways. We use Slack as a communication tool, and so we have Zapier dropping stuff in Slack off of any purchases or anything we need to follow up with, or people grabbing different things we need to respond to. A lot of stuff is automated through Zapier. If someone clicks for some sort of content that they wanted, Zapier will automate that getting delivered to them, and so on. I mean, there's a million things you can do. I love Zapier. I don't know if you're a big Zapier fan, but
all the updates that the iPhones come out with, right? See, this is why it's so hard to get a hold of people. But think about your iPhone has automated. It will automatically, when I get in my car, it says, hey, it's 45 minutes to get home due to traffic or whatever. And you can go through and put your list in. And I know on the to-do list with one of the new updates, if you walk into Target, then your Target list pops up. Like everything that we're doing is getting automated in a way to be more efficient with our time and to not forget everything. And my mom talks about this a lot. She's like, I really feel bad for your generation, the parents, the business owners, all of us that are the grown-ups now, because our time, we still have the same amount of time, but people expect so much more of our time. And there's so many things going on during a day and so much content coming at us. You really can't unplug and get away from anything unless you literally unplug and go away from where you're at, right? Like the mountains or something like that, which I think is why those sorts of trips are getting so popular right now, because so much content's going at everybody. So how can you best automate your time? Whether it be, that's why a lot of people might say, why didn't you just use the bagged mashed potatoes, right? And then I didn't even need to spend an hour peeling potatoes. Or even automating our food. Have you gone through the grocery store and seen the fajita kits at Costco, the street tacos? All you have to do is take them and go and warm them up now, right? Their automation is everywhere if you look around, and really figuring out ways to maximize your time.
Absolutely. Or Grubhub, Uber Eats, you don't even have to go anywhere. I think we maybe just got a year subscription to like Walmart delivery, and apparently there's a minimum order, which I was like, so if I need batteries, I can just be like, deliver me a package of batteries. I guess it's like 10 or 15 bucks minimum, but whatever. They come bring it to me. I don't even have to go to Walmart. And so, I love automating wherever possible. Like I know my time going to a store, looking around, trying to find stuff, checking out, all that stuff, I'm gonna spend a decent amount of money in just my time going there. Whereas if I look at, okay, maybe it's a small delivery fee, or maybe in some cases I can prepay for a year and it averages out to like nothing, then that's totally worth it. So, there's something to be said too of if you're going to spend your time on something that you're choosing to, and potentially it's because it's something you enjoy. If you're gonna cook, should be something that you like doing or having fun doing, or some special thing you're doing for something, not just because like, I didn't know there was other alternatives that I could have optimized so that, someone else is cooking for me, or my stuff's delivered for me, or stuff like that. So there's really high tech and low tech ways you can automate your life. Not everything is some fancy software that does everything for you. Some this morning, Ella actually discovered this, and I did it myself immediately afterwards because I thought it was cool. We, I think with our Spotify premium account, we got a free Google Home Mini. So they delivered it, and so we're playing around with that. So apparently, we just walk up to it and go, "Hey Google, morning routine." It will start going, "Nope, phone, don't do that." No. Okay, it was ready to start doing that. If you say, "Hey, G word, morning routine," then Google will go through the weather. It'll go through top news topics. It'll go through all the sort of stuff, for your day, instead of like manually searching news sources or trying to keep up with stuff like, oh, I can just walk out in the morning and have it tell me all that stuff. And that's not a super high-tech way of automating stuff, but I mean, it is still something that saves some time and energy. And if you get enough of that stuff done, like I know Cody would automate something to save 1 second every day if it was something that saved 1 second. Cody optimizes the shit out of everything, and so I could see him doing something like that. So I'm not saying you have to automate every second of your day, but there's some key major tasks that you can automate through that. And I'd love to talk to you about some of the things that you automate in business or personal life and stuff as well. But we have a couple questions that I wanted to kind of bring up. So let me go through a couple of these real quick. So I know Tyler Raymer was saying hi, and he's a huge automation person. So I've been telling him he needs to check out the insurance lead machine. I think he's going to absolutely blow his mind when he checks that stuff out. So yeah, you should connect to Tyler, by the way. It's possible to stress enough that time is money. And that is a key statement. Tyler gets it. He knows that he automates a ton of his business. And absolutely. So we got Renee asking, what are a few simple automations an agent can start with? If you were going to make a few recommendations of what an agent can really automate in their business, what would you recommend, or what's some of the first things?
The very first thing I think that agents should automate, and I've seen the best success with, is their inbound leads or the leads that they have sitting. So those old leads that you quoted, you never heard back from, people you reached out to that you never heard back from. So leads you're sitting on and leads that you have currently coming in. If you can automate that system, hey, there's my girl.
Yeah. We love you, Agency Impulse.
She distracted me. I like her. I bought her a sweatshirt yesterday. So I'll have it on our next live. Anyway, but the fresh leads, because your fresh leads are your money, right? We want to be getting policies in the door, because that's where we're all going to be the most successful. So automating those first out is always the best. Now, of course, I would recommend Insurance Lead Machine to do that with, because not only have we put together a system that will do all the automation for you, but then we also, right, we like to make everything as easy as we can. So everything's plug and play. We already have done the research. We've already done all the testing and everything on what talk paths work. So all you have to do is come in, you get a free onboarding call right now, and plug in your leads, and then let the automation do the work. You don't have to put any time or any thought into what you're going to say, what days you should reach out to them, what methods you should reach out to them. We've done all of that for you, because in my opinion, it's not really fair to be like, hey, we think we should automate your business and really capture your time, but we want you to take 3 months to learn this system. It doesn't make any sense. Absolutely.
And I do want to spend a lot of this time talking about the Insurance Lead Machine. And actually it's actually 14 days. I know it says 7 here, but it's actually 14.
Yep.
If you go through the link, you'll see that it's 14 day free trial. And honestly, I want to spend a lot of time talking about this because this is incredible software. It's mind blowing. It's really like a game changer for the industry. And I think a lot of agents are blown away by it when they check it out, even during the free trial, and are making money during their free trial. So we'll definitely talk about that. We're going to come back and discuss that kind of a little more in depth. Let's see, we got one more question here that I've seen come through already. I need to sell burial policy this month. How can I get leads quickly? And I think that's probably the same person that asked, hello, I need to sell, I think there was a previous question about burial. That's the way to get quality leads for free.
Let me know what I can do to sell a burial policy at the end of this month. And you know what you can do? You can jump into the free trial and you can run every lead you've ever talked to. If you want to if you need to have a policy bound by midnight on January 31st, run every single person you've ever talked to through an automation, and you're going to have more than one come out. If you're like, I don't want to do automation, you're crazy because it's the easiest thing to do. But then you're going to have to pick up the phone and you're going to have to call every single person you've ever talked to. And then once you get through the list, you're going to hang up the phone, you're going to pick it back up, and you're going to dial every single person you've ever talked to again, because that's the only way that you're going to get business locked out right away is people that you've talked to. Because there's no silver bullet. Like, I could probably start you a final expense policy or a final expense Facebook ad. Let's say we could get it up and going in the next 2 hours. Well, you still have to kind of know how to talk to those leads. You have to be able to get a hold of them. You have to be able to get a hold of them on their time. So if I was looking at somebody halfway through the month that was saying, I have to write one policy by the end of the month, I would go back through your old list and start burning them up.
Absolutely. I think Grace was asking, do they have final expense leads or barrel insurance leads? The insurance lead machines, I do want to clarify, is for working your leads, and you got to have leads, whether it's old prospects of yours that you can go grab that you never got in contact with or never got a no from, or CSVs of data or aged leads, or even real-time stuff coming in off Facebook can drop in automatically, or if you're getting DMs leads coming in, you can upload those. However you're getting your leads, there's many different ways you can bring them into the system. But as far as if you're, Grace, I think you're looking for a lead source as well, it seems like. If you're looking for final expense type stuff and barrel policy, the Lead Gurus has awesome Facebook leads for final expense and Medicare, and they can do other stuff too. But if you're looking for low cost stuff that you can work on the life side, it's not final expense, but the Lead Gurus actually has some age direct mail mortgage protection leads that are like less than $1 or $1 or something like that. They're age, but if you want to run a bunch of, like, if I was doing life stuff wherever with mortgage protection, I would totally go grab a boatload of those for cheap, run them through the insurance lead machine, and pull out massive ROI out of that. I mean, in fact, I would be doing that for any line, really. So they're great for real-time Facebook leads. If you need data, age stuff, large lists and stuff that you're going to run through the insurance lead machine and pull stuff out from, Jeff O'Neill at the Wholesale Lead Network is awesome for grabbing that stuff. A couple people have got to me. He's had pneumonia for a bit. He's on the up and up, so he's back to normal now. If you reach out and book times with him, it had a little bit off with the pneumonia, but he's good now. But yeah, they do over 1 million leads a month with the Wholesale Lead Network, and they've got everything from your PNC to your health to your Medicare to your life stuff. So if you want to grab stuff to run through it, he's the guy to grab that stuff from. So definitely check that stuff out. So and really, I mean, that's what I would mostly be using, because for time and ROI for the average agent that's doing everything manually, a real-time Facebook lead would probably, or similar, would probably be the best ROI as far as the minimum amount of time getting high quality leads that you can convert probably at the highest rate. Now, that's because they're doing it manually. But if I was doing this and trying to maximize everything, I'd be grabbing lists of like aged or data stuff and then running 100, 500, 1,000 plus through the insurance lead machine and pulling everything out. It will do the ringless voicemail, text, and calls and stuff for you, and pull out stuff for making an ROI and really maximizing your contact rate, your appointments, your calls, people booking their own appointments, and then ultimately your sales, obviously. But we'll talk about all the features of that and everything for sure. I know there's just so much stuff to talk about it, and it really blew my mind. I know there's people in the group that I think it's their new favorite thing in the world, like Charlotte. Charlotte loves it. So yeah, and there's a ton of people using it. You guys have had a ton of people coming on and doing quite well during the trial even. So agents, yeah, it's a 14-day free trial. So definitely go grab it. They do so much personal onboarding stuff. They're hopping on calls with you. They're taking you through stuff. They'll help get your leads loaded in. They'll show you everything. What we were just talking about was kind of the basic first stuff with it, but there's so much stuff even built into it beyond that. So Grace, hopefully that helps. I would definitely check that out. Who asked, how does it work? Someone asked, how does it work? It was Grace as well. So Grace, hopefully that helps explain how it works a little bit. And then we got Tiffany asking about, is the lead machine just for PNC or life? It's for all lines, Tiffany. So you can really use it for your PNC. You can use it for health. You can use it for life. You can use it for commercial too. It's got scripts and sequences for all different lines of product stuff in there, and you can customize stuff out to really anything. You can kind of take a base of something and change the wording and different stuff to fit whatever you want. But they've already got built in for PNC and health and life and different stuff. So I would definitely check that out. And agents are constantly adding, doing their own modifications. And I think some of that stuff maybe can even be shared with others. If someone's like, hey, I made a really cool, sequence for PNC. Is it possible for them to like share their sequence, Sandra?
Oh yeah. Yep. You guys can get in the group and be like, Charlotte, give me what you've been working on, girl. And so yeah, it's so customizable. It really is.
So how old have the leads been that some agents are putting through the lead machine? So
old, man, like we're talking like old requote list, old stuff they bought from X company. Of course, you're going to have a lower return, but the deal is this is all your data. Like, so it's not doing you any good sitting in your computer. It's dang sure not doing you any good sitting in an Excel sheet. So put anything through it and see, start loving on these people. And then again, it's not a one sequence, one off thing. If it doesn't work, then run them back through the same sequence in 45 days or 60 days and keep following up with them until they tell you to go away, which they will in some colorful ways.
Which is fine. I mean, I'd rather have an answer, right, and be able to move on to the next one. But if anything, it's going to pull out responses. All those people that ghost you, spend all your time trying to follow up and get in touch with them that really are just a hard no. It'll go ahead and get that hard no out, and then okay, they automatically get pulled off, so they won't be contacted again. But you're not wasting any more time trying to continuously do that. Let's see.
On that point, David, too, you're not beating your staff up. Too, right? Because you're like, guys, you have 3,000 leads. What are you guys doing all day? Then you start like doing stuff like Time Doctor, right? You're like, fill out this sheet and let me know how many calls you made today. You can actually see in real time what's happening in your office with your money and all the money that you're investing into leads. You can actually see how many people they're talking to, how many people are actually telling them no, and then you can say, you know what? I don't think this lead source is as great as I thought it was. And you shouldn't have just one lead source unless you're killing it, making a ton of money off of them. But that was my big thing was I was like, well, I can get on the phone and I can close somebody. Well, that's me. And I'm pretty good at sales. So to have that expectation for my staff was really different. And if I would have had something like this, because I was that person, I'm like, you guys need to, I was pulling call reports to see how many dials they were making and trying to help them. I wasn't being a jerk, but I was trying to be like, what can I do to help you guys get more sales? And I tell you what, if we could have loaded 150 people a day and they could have got a bunch of responses and just worked that throughout the day, we would have had a completely different office environment. And it's so much easier to bring on those next level sales guys that are leaving us to go to the bank or a car dealership, or those really good sales guys are always going to find the place where they can make the most commission, right? And if you've got something where you're saying, hey, you can talk to 500 or 600 people in a day, all you have to do is get into this app or get onto this program in your computer and have conversations with them, you're going to start getting some pretty high level salespeople coming into your office.
Absolutely. And I know
it's hard to hire somebody. Have you ever heard that feedback?
Wait, what'd you say?
Have any of the agents ever told you it's really hard to find good salespeople?
Yeah, pretty much everybody will tell you that. I'll tell you that as well. Just
you guys know
any good salespeople. But I know we initially kind of started talking about this kind of towards the individual agent, but for agencies as well, this is priced for by agency essentially. So it doesn't really matter if you have agents underneath you. You can run this as your agency, and it really does maximize time. Would you rather have like Sandra said, your team cold dialing numbers and going through one at a time and doing as many dials as they can a day and hopefully making some sales and stuff, or spending their time just talking to people that are interested and reached out to them or called or scheduled times or appointments, and people that have expressed interest and actually replied and taken some initiative? And so you're going to maximize your results in ROI, and they're going to maximize theirs, and not just beat up cold dialing all day and hoping to hit somebody. And so that really is on an agency level. I mean, it's got really cool features built in too, like round robin. You got multiple agents and you're running leads for providing to your agents. You can run that and it will round robin off to them. One lead to Joe, one lead to Tim, one lead to Sandra, and so on and back forth and stuff. And so it really is awesome for an agency level, and then also for individual agents, really maximize them. So solopreneurs, solo agents, you can obviously take advantage of this as well. A couple quick questions real quick that have popped up. And Renee, I know when you were talking about the old leads been put through, I think who was a great example of that? I mean, Ricky, wasn't he the one who took like a dead list of 500 that he was like, nothing's going to happen with this pretty much, uploaded it, went to dinner, and had like 62 or 63 reach out or something like that while he was at dinner, and was like, oops, I've made a horrible mistake. I should have gone to dinner. And I think in the next like couple days, he wrote like over 10,000 AP or something from the dead list of 500. So that's it's a pretty good ROI in a couple days off a dead list. So imagine what you can even do with real-time stuff. But yeah, so, and needless to say, throw your old leads through it and pull stuff out from them. And because the fact is, most agents either don't realize how much contacts it really takes to pull a sale out of a lead, or just don't have the time or energy to do it. I mean, really a lot of agents, they get a list, especially if a list is given to them versus them purchasing one. But if a list is given to them, it's one dial for each person, move on the next one, more free leads, please give them to me. And even if they purchased it, it's like, I only have so much time. So maybe call once, call twice, and then, give up on them. The average amount of contacts goes up and up every single year. And I don't even remember what the initial one now is. It's somewhere between 14 and 28 contacts or something like that for the average sale. So it's not just a couple dialing them on the phone. So this was going to hit them with the ringless voicemail, the text, the email, the sequences, continuously doing that for you. Stuff that you're never going to be able to do at scale yourself manually. So even with a team. So yeah, so that was a good point there. How long does it take to get set up and running? Are people able to even get leads, running through the stuff in their trial, or does it really take, a long time to get set up?
No, it just takes a couple days. You can book an onboarding call with our team, and we have everything's there. Everything, there's videos, there's user manuals, there's everything you need to get started. So if you wanted to jump in and just kind of do everything on your own and get going, you could get going right away. You could get going within a few hours. We're finding it takes people somewhere between 24 or 48 hours because they're taking the route of getting an onboarding call and making sure that everything's set up just right for them. So it's just it's a couple days, but it's not like your bigger, monstrous things where you have to learn how to do XYZ before you can do XYZ. There's a lot of moving parts to it, but getting leads in and getting the contacts out is actually a really simple process, which can be done in a day or two.
And they'll help you through it. I mean, it's not like here's a new system with a bunch of stuff. Go figure it out. Like, they got tons of awesome webinars and walkthroughs, and they'll hop on the phone with you. So yeah, tons of cool stuff that you guys can use for your business with that. And I want to keep going through these questions here. I think I don't know if it was Tiffany or someone was asking about the price after the 14-day trial. It's $197 a month, I believe.
Yep, and there's no additional fees for users. So let's talk a little bit about that. So if you're an agency owner and you've got 5 staff underneath you, all 5 staff get their own login, their own password, so they can use the system. The only time that there's another fee, let's say that you're an agency owner that owns 2 offices, because everything comes specifically from an office. So it'll say, hello, Steve. This is Sandra from XYZ Insurance. So if you have 2 agencies that are running with 2 different names, then you would need 2 systems because we can't change the customization on that. So that would be the only time you would have an extra fee, but there's no additional fees per user. It's $197 a month, and that's it.
Which is, I mean, I don't really understand that, the agents or something is like, oh, 197 a month, because really in reality, if it's helping you pull out one additional sale out of each lead list, which it's going to do more than that and up your contact rate and stuff. But, take final expense, for example, you're pulling out one additional sale, 500, 800 AP average, probably at 100% contract or somewhere around there. Yeah, you've paid for half a year of it almost. I mean, it just makes sense.
On the flip side, if you're paying somebody $12 an hour to make 8 hours worth of calls, that's a lot of money, you guys, where these guys could be actually having sales conversations.
Or you're paying someone, $20, $25+ an appointment for appointment set or something like that. I mean, yeah, it's a great investment. And obviously there's agents pulling out ROIs during the trial. So what's $5,000 in commission versus 0 cost during a trial. I think that's pretty good ROI. I'll take that ROI any day. I think technically it's infinity if you divide by 0, or the limit does not exist, or something Mean Girls taught me. I don't remember how that movie turned out, but so let's see. We got
the program Super Fetch.
Super fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Fetch is never gonna happen. But yeah, good movie. They should do a sequel. What lead vendors do you work with for importation? I think maybe for getting lead lists and stuff like that. So
Jeff is a great resource, like you were talking about.
Jeff is great. I mean, really, you guys can use whatever lead sources you want. I mean, wherever you're pulling from. I mean, I recommend Jeff a lot for pulling lead lists and data and stuff. If you're pulling real time, Jeremy and stuff, you're generating your own, like Insurance Lead Masters or something like that, and you're generating your own Facebook leads. Then that, I mean, there's really any way you're getting your leads, you can use it with this. If you're looking for anything specific, let us know. We can hook you up. Sure.
We've got one guy that really does a lot of vendor shows. So he goes to like the home improvement show, things like that. I used to do those as well. I would set up a booth at our local fair and gather information. Well, what do you do with that information on Monday, right? Like we really had to stay disciplined in, okay, now we need to call these people. But now all you have to do is put them in an Excel sheet and upload them. And if you take an iPad or a computer and have them put their information in instead of writing it out on pieces of paper, you're ready to go. You can throw them into an automation the next day, and now you're actually not only getting your company name out, but you're also able to follow up with those guys and say, you know, hey, we talked at Montana Fair, we talked at the home improvement show, and let's have a conversation again about your insurance.
Yeah. So, I mean, really any way that you're running you're getting your leads and running your business, I mean, it all works. So you can get it in however you want. And if you have a favorite, use that. I mean, let's see what we got here. Because I know, okay. Who asked this? I'm very interested. This was, make sure you click that link so you can make it easy for me to tell who asked what. Kevin Benevidis. I can say names sometimes. The question is, how do I import 3,000 leads in the system? I'm assuming upload CSV, click, and import it. So probably don't want to run 3,000 all at once, but I mean,
and that's what Ricky learned really quickly. Was he was like, well, I'm gonna upload 500 of these dead leads, and then he was like, too many people are contacting me. Okay, well, put less leads in. So yeah, it really is, you know, David, I don't know if you guys caught the very complicated process there, but you upload the CV file and you hit, there's actually a play button. It's a little green triangle and you hit play.
And they will be able, you know, marketers and stuff like Cody and Sandra will be able to help advise on that a bit to where, you know, everybody's like, oh, I just want to upload my whole list and pull everything out at once. Well, you're gonna pulling out interested people, and then you're not gonna have the time to get with them before they're like, oh, well, where'd you go? Because you're dealing with so many interested people and responses. I mean, how many threads and texts and emails and different stuff can you guys handle at one time? If you're like me, only a few. Otherwise, you know, it's crazy. So why not break that 3,000 into groups of 100 and have 100 going out steadily and, you know, keeping you busy?
And you know, on this point, one of the, you know, your killer salespeople or yourself, you want to write, you know, that you have to write business after hours, right? 5 o'clock hits and you're like, I want to go home. I've been on the phone all damn day, right? But what's really cool is we have an app. So on your phone, you can download the app. And if people are responding after hours when they're off work and they have time to talk about insurance, your sales staff, anybody that has the app can actually go in and have those conversations. So I know for myself, and I know a lot of people I've talked to will try to incentivize their staff to stay later. Like, you don't have to come in till noon if you'll just stay till 6 or 6:30 even, or giving contests or making it mandatory where you have to call and do that after hours. But now they have the freedom to be able to work. Whoever's doing your sales can work whenever they want, because they can go into the system after hours on their cell phone. They don't have to take home VoIP phones. They don't have to take home computers. They don't have to take home lists, but they can actually, it's just as easy as answering a text message.
And if my grandma can answer a text message, you guys can too. So don't feel like, you know, I don't know much about computers, or I'm not, you know, kind of not tech challenged. Really, you know, they'll walk you through this, they'll help you out, and it's, you know, not this crazy complex. I promise you don't gotta do any coding, guys. You guys don't have to do any coding. So it's, you know, it's clicking buttons. That you guys got this. I believe in you guys. Yeah. So I think, yeah, as Sandra said, I think is probably just a CSV file or XSL file. Exactly. Sure, you said that. Yeah, and you can upload that. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, super affordable and tax write-off. So yeah, get your business expense in by using this and write it off. So let's see. We got here. Sharia is also saying Jeff's also obviously got great data and different stuff you can run through it. Okay, here we go. Renee's got another question. What are some typical results for those still within the 14-day trial? I mean, or what have you seen so far? I know we kind of briefly mentioned some others, but
and it just kind of varies. You know, the people that want to get in and want to get it done and get rolling with it, they really are. They're going in. We even have some people that are in their trial periods using the survey builder, so it actually has its own lander, so that will actually replace Survey Gizmo. So you can take your $165 a month you're spending on Survey Gizmo, pay $197 a month, and drop everything through the same program. And so it just depends. I always say that with any results. I really am terrible. It depends on what you want to do with it, but it's ready to go. So if you put your leads in, if you put your list in, if you create a survey, no matter what route you decide to take right away, if you come in, if you follow the steps, so each video is laid out, do this, now do this, now do this, now do this, you're going to be up and running right away, and you'll be able to start pulling out some policies right away.
And I think that's you made a really great point there as well during that about Survey Gizmo essentially being built in the back end. And so for newer agents, maybe you haven't taken advantage of a lot of different technologies and stuff, but for agents that have been around, you guys probably have different pieces of your business and softwares and things that you have, and maybe you've tied them together, maybe they don't tie together, and all this different stuff. And I have people come all the time like, I want, ringless voicemail. I want text. I want email. I want surveys. I want chatbot features. I want all this stuff, and I want it in one thing. And most of the time, they're going to have to go subscribe to Survey Gizmo. They're going to have to go subscribe to Zapier. They're going to have to go grab Twilio. They're going to have to go grab Slide Broadcast. They're going to have to go grab all these things to make that happen. And all those subscriptions, all those different places, and trying to make them tie together, it's insane. It's going to drive you nuts. And it's going to be way more expensive than just getting this to do that. And so the fact is, this thing saves you all those different softwares. You don't need your ActiveCampaign anymore. You don't really need your Zapier. I mean, you probably still want Zapier for other stuff, but Zapier, your Twilio, your Slide Broadcast, your Survey Gizmo, all this stuff is built into the back. I think they actually have a list at some point. If you go through the page and click through, it'll take you to the next page that I think has a list of all the different softwares and stuff that this replaces essentially.
So folks like Nathan Sprague, who came in, his results for the 14-day free trial was he started saving a couple $100 a month because he didn't have to use all those other programs. So, that in and of itself, you're saving money before you even come out of the gate, before you even talk to a potential client. Yeah,
not too bad. Already saving money, and then you make money during the trial. So yeah, let's see. We had who asked this? Is IUL Kevin again was asking, is IUL leads a possibility? I mean, you can work stuff for IUL on the system as well, correct?
Check
Index Universal Life.
Yes. So I was like, draw back.
I know. PNC is more your background and stuff, but yeah, IULs, community. Stuff. You might have to edit some of the sequences a bit and run them through a different way because I mean IUL and annuities aren't typically like, hey, you want to buy an IUL, you want to buy an annuity, you got to do a little bit, it's going to be a little bit different of a sequence, but this really lets you build out that sequence. It's really, so agents that want to come in, I mean, can they create their whole own sequences and build stuff out and within this?
And it's so easy because all you have to do is hit edit and change the words to what you want the words to be.
I can hit edit.
Right. You don't have to go in and you don't even have to go in and create anything. Really, all you're doing is just changing it and customizing it a little bit to yourself, and to your annuities and things like that. And of course, it will work for anything, any people you need to talk to. So if you see a pretty girl at the bar, you can throw her into your follow-up system, build out a campaign, and be like, "Hey, girl,
Exactly. Don't let your mind just be limited by insurance. I mean, you can build your whole sequence out here as well. Like, yeah, let me get your number and throw it in. Be like, you can go out and all different or all different, ringless voicemail, text, email, different stuff. Hey, can we go on a date or whatever? I don't encourage you guys to use it like that. Seems like that may be a little above and beyond there a little bit, but let your mind run wild in different ways to use this thing.
Anybody you need to talk to.
It's obviously focused a bit on insurance and all the stuff included in there, but yeah, say you do know marketing a bit, your products, the typical flow of your sales process and stuff with getting people from an ad or wherever you're getting lead from to the point of purchase or to hopping on that call with you. You can go in and you can say, okay, here's what I want the ringless voicemail to say, and I want the text and email to have the same info with a link to lead them to this next step. And then I'm going to build out a survey that I'm going to put them through for the next step to further qualify them. And I'm going to insert Facebook pixels based on these different answers to trigger them off for potential, referrals for my referral partners. So they're looking to purchase a home in the next, 3 to 6 months. Okay, let me pass this off to my real estate or my mortgage loan officer as a referral partner. Oh, they're looking, to possibly refinance their house, or they're looking, to have, a kid, or the mortgage, looking to buy a house next 3 to 6 months, possibility for mortgage protection at the point, or, they're retiring and maybe they have a pension or 401k, possibilities for annuities. I mean, you can do all this sort of stuff. The important thing is you need to know your products and what you're selling a bit. And if you know that, and your typical process, you can create all sorts of things, or you can use the ones that are already built in there. So it really, really advances whatever you are doing, and really helps with that. So I think you might have answered this a little earlier, but how much time does it take to set up the system? I mean, I've seen some people I get set up within a day or two. Like you said, they're just hopping on and getting stuff connected and everything going and ready to upload a list. I mean, so yeah, you have plenty of time during your trial to really take advantage of it, for sure. Yeah. How much are, I think Sharia was asking, how much are the ringless voicemails per drop?
That I don't know. So they stumped me, they got me. But it's not a lot. So Twilio is connected to it. So you do have your own Twilio. So you can always go onto Twilio's website and it'll kind of show you but we don't have anybody that spends more than like 20 or 30 bucks a month. I was told was kind of the average on.
Twilio's for the text though, right? And Slide Broadcast is for the ringless voicemail. Is that right? She's asking for the ringless voicemail.
Yeah, I'll find out the answer and I'll drop it in this chat. So I'll get a hold of Cody and ask him. I actually don't think they're. Yeah, I think that's included.
It's very inexpensive. The ringless voicemail and the text are very, very inexpensive, and obviously email is incredibly inexpensive. So yeah, if you're looking for any specific numbers, get with Sandra, and I'm sure she can get you specifics on those. But
I think that the ringless voicemails and the email are just integrated in the system.
And I think a certain amount's even included within the subscription or something. I think Cody told me that at one point. So he can give you exact numbers. L commenting, can I have it? Can I have your number? Is that a Mad TV sketch? I forget who made that sketch, but oh man, that's funny. Along with Bonquiqui. Anyways, old comedy sketches. I got the reference though. Of course, I'm married to it. That's probably why. But yeah. Someone's about to step up their dating game with Insurance Lead Machine. Carlos, absolutely. Take advantage of this thing. Put it to use.
I'm going to do a quick screen capture here.
You got a whole new business right there, guys. Grab this thing, and now you got a dating lead machine to sell or something like that. I don't know. That starts to sound a little creepy. I can't endorse that, but I can't control what you do. So. But anyways, I know we talked about this bit, guys. This is really incredible software. You have nothing to lose for 14 days to go test this out and see if this makes a difference to your business. I promise you it will. This is a no-brainer, really. Just to even throw stuff in and pull your leads out from it and make sales. So I highly invest you check this out. And there's all different, once you get the basics down, all different advanced stuff that you can do with it, even above and beyond pulling out the contact rates and stuff. And so not to throw too much on you in a bit, we'll hold off on any of the advanced stuff. There is one feature that I find super cool that I do want to talk about was the force call feature essentially. So if you're in the field, which I know a lot of you guys are in the field from time to time, or just not at your desk. I know every once in a while you guys leave your office. And for some reason you're not at your desk, you don't see a lead come through from your Facebook ad or any place that you're generating leads, YouTube ads, wherever you're getting your leads from, and a lead drops in. Well, if you're out and about, it'll call you and be like, hey, David just dropped through as a lead in your Facebook campaign. Here's his info. You want to chat with him right away, and hit the number and hit the button, it'll dial the number, and you can get them on the phone as soon as they came across as a lead. No, get them back hours later, a day later, because you went home or whatever, or you're out for lunch. You can get to them right then. And we all know that first 10 to 15 minutes is a huge difference in contact rate, and it drops significantly after that. And you're going to have to do a lot more work to try to get in contact and ultimately pull the sale out. So getting in touch as quick as possible, even if it is with a ringless voicemail or text or email, but even more so if it's you personally calling them back immediately after them coming across as the lead, you're going to see a higher contact rate and more sales come out of that. So let's see. Yeah, Mad TV. Thank you for letting me know where that came from. Let's see. We got Kevin asking month to month or contract. Kevin, there is no contract. It is month to month. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they would do something if you want to pay for 6 months or a year at a time. I don't know.
We have some price breaks at 6 months and at 12 months. So you can do a price break there.
Tax write-off, guys. Come on.
Lock it in. We know all your bonuses are coming next month.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys know you're gonna need to be working leads all year long, multiple years long, your agencies and stuff. So I mean, if this is gonna make you a huge impact in your business, just go ahead and grab it for longer term. But yeah, you can check it out here once again in that link. And once again, guys, if you guys have any comments, any questions or anything, keep dropping them in. We'll keep answering them. We got a few more minutes that we can go. But I know we're just talking about automation and stuff in your life in general. And I want to challenge you guys to really think in 2020 and this year, what can I leverage or take advantage of, automate for really maximizing the potential of myself as a solo insurance producer, or as an agency with my agents underneath me, or as an IMO with tons of agents and agencies underneath me. What can I do to maximize and really pull the most results out? It's not about working harder. I know the industry loves hustle. The person who, catches pneumonia because they didn't take any break during AEP is really the winner at the end of the day. You can get a lot done with the hustle, and the hustle spirit is important, but really it's about working smarter. What can I do to leverage? I mean, if you can get the same results but spending half the time, that's what you should be doing, not wearing the badge of honor. I spent double the time to make the same results as someone else. So, that's not something you should brag about necessarily. So I want to challenge you guys, think about that. Think about ways that you can really make a huge difference in your business by taking something you spend a ton of time on and really finding ways to reduce the time you spend on it and achieving same, if not more results. And that's not just leads. I know we're talking about that here, and that's obviously a huge part of every agent's life and every agency's life. And it's the lifeblood really is pulling out leads and sales and, making commissions. But, in your personal life too. I mean, think of ways throughout your day you can be more efficient. I mean, if you're doing telesales and you're able to do telesales and sell some more from home or over video calls and different stuff versus, driving around as much, maybe that's a pro. Or if you are driving around, finding softwares that plan your routes. There's plenty of software out there that can identify the best route to go to save time, and all that type of stuff. There's so much. And ask questions. There's guarantee out of almost 11,000 agents in the group, someone has tried some sort of software, has found some sort of solution for whatever it is you're looking for. So ask questions. People will be able to share their feedback and what they're using. That's a great way to discover new stuff. We love to share new things that we find or discover. I guarantee there'll be some blog posts about different cool technology or software that we find and use. And obviously, people like Sandra and Cody are welcome to share their stuff they find and they use in their business and in their lives and stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of the main stuff I want to talk about today. Sandra, do you have anything else?
No, I love what you guys are doing for the agents. This is so cool. Just bringing everything to the forefront.
We want to be the kings of connecting them with insurance resources to build their business. So I lost my crown for a little bit, but I have it back, guys. Now it leaks a little bit, but it's okay. No worries. So last one got stolen by my brother's dog. So anyways, yeah. We're gonna have a lot of fun this year. It's gonna be a lot of great stuff. We're gonna hopefully connect and help provide resources through stuff we found or connected with for agents to make a big difference in a lot of your guys' businesses and lives in 2020. And hopefully here's to up in the number of successful agents each year as opposed to the 92% that honestly mostly just lack resources and tools and knowing where to go and mentorship. So we're hoping to change those numbers and change the industry and really help people find quality things. So whether it's lead vendors, software, tools, courses, whatever it is, we're going to try and find and connect you guys with. So got some exciting stuff coming up over the next few weeks and months, and look forward to also hearing some more amazing testimonials coming from the insurance lead machine and everybody using that. So look forward. So as you keep getting these results and testimonials from people going through, Sandra, keep dropping them in the group, keep having people mention what's going on, because really I think a lot of agents, pretty much every agent, this is going to be a huge difference and game changer for their business. So thanks everybody for being here. Thanks Sandra for hopping on. Tell Cody next time I'm gonna drag him on here. I know he's busy, some family stuff, but yeah. So
back end stuff. I'm like, I wanted to do this.
Exactly. This is the fun stuff, right? Hey, other team members, go work on the nitty gritty. I like to be on video. So, anyways,
I've always got him in the lab.
Bob's on there using it. I think he actually won the contest. So yeah. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. So thanks everybody for being here. Carlos, thanks. We really appreciate everybody. Look forward to really having an amazing year with you guys. And once again, give us feedback. Let us know what you like, what you're looking for, things that you have questions on, things that you would want to learn more about. And we will make sure to create content on it or find experts in that area to bring them on too. And we're gonna have a really great year. Once again, YouTube channel dropped, so make sure you go subscribe to that. And videos like this, the recording of this video and stuff will end up on there, so you guys can check that out nice and easy. We'll get them embedded on the site too. Check out the blog, lots of good posts there. We'll be looking for some super quality guest posts too, so maybe Cody and Sandra might have some interesting stuff at some point for a nice blog post on automation maybe or something. I don't know, we'll see. And yeah, so we got a lot of great stuff. And once again, we have a lot of great free stuff too. Agents like, I'm on a budget, I got no money. That's okay. There's a lot of great stuff out there, and everybody starts somewhere. So come on the website, grab the free resources. There's a ton of stuff on there that you guys can use and take advantage of, and can already make a bit of difference in your business. So make sure to do that. So, anyways, I'm hungry. I'm about to go eat. Thanks for being here, Sandra. I'll let you get out of here as well.
Mash the potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. That potatoes made me hungry. I'm ready to go eat. So thanks everybody for being here. We really appreciate it. And we have another live this Friday. Jay Kague, Christian Financial Agency Pocket, will be hopping on. He sent me a message a second ago on the topic, so I will reveal that and create the event for that tomorrow, and you guys can find out. But yeah, thanks guys for being a part of the group. Look forward to hitting 40,000 by the end of the year in there, and a bunch of different stuff. And I think we're gonna have a pretty sweet month-long invite contest for people adding agents to the group next month, and with prizes given away weekly as well. So not only the top ones for the month, those will be the best prizes, of course, but for each week we'll be giving out prizes and stuff to people as well. Maybe even pick a random person to win too, if anybody invites anybody. So we got some fun stuff going on. I think we're gonna be using King Sumo for a fun contest and stuff with YouTube as well. So if agents haven't used King Sumo, that's a fun thing. Have you ever used King Sumo? Or Gleam, or there's a few similar type ones out there, but they're for running like viral giveaway contest type stuff that people can enter and get additional votes by doing different things and different stuff. So they're pretty fun. Awesome. There's a lot of cool ways to use them. But anyways, okay, I promise guys, I'm out of here now. So have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys again on Friday, and well, hopefully every day in the group. So thanks everybody. Thanks Sandra.